Okay, not long ago I came out with a video. A subscriber gave me a free 2005 KX250. So in this video, I want to find out if it'll run, okay? So what you're going to see me do is check 3 simple things that any engine needs in order to run. So that is adequate compression. We're going to want to see 90 PSI. Actually, I don't know what the lowest number is, but you're going to want to see 90 PSI plus. And that doesn't mean that the engine's good or not. It just means, do we have enough for it to run? Next up, fuel and air. It needs fuel and air to combust, right? And then third is spark, and of course, at the right time, right? So those are the 3 simple things that you need to check anytime a motorcycle does not run. And I got a good blog post. Check it out. It's in the upper right. So let's just get right into seeing if this thing will run. Okay, first thing we're going to do is check to see if there's gas in it. All right, there's nothing, and it smells nasty. It smells like varnish. Definitely smells like it's a year or 2 old. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing, maybe an ounce or 2. It's looking a little thick. So I'm gonna flush the gas tank or clean it out really good, because I mean, I don't want any of that stuff. So it looks like it's gonna need a carb job, obviously. Whatever's in here is old, whatever's in the carb is old, but let's just move on, all right? All right, I already removed the seat and the air cleaner. I really wanted to see if there was mice living in here, and there's nothing. All right, so those inserts look like they're in decent shape on this side, so that's awesome. Those are usually all stripped out. This one here is looking a little rough. All right, that one looks a little chewed up, but I think I can clean that up with a tap. Looks like it's missing the little rubber clamp that goes here, so I'll write that down. All right, remove the tank. This thing needs to be thoroughly cleaned. Okay, here's a 13 mil, so this is probably a hardware store bolt. All right, this clamp definitely has the wrong bolt in it. Yeah, I think I need a new clamp. This thing is stripped out. This throttle cable's in rough shape. All right, so we have some electrical to disconnect here. So there's the connector. This is for the TPS and the fuel cut solenoid. All right, let's undo the throttle cable here. Let me get the, okay, I'm just undoing the top. All right, put the carb on the bench. This carb boot here is in really rough shape. See all those cracks? That doesn't mean, you know, they could be all the way through, but that's just, yeah, I mean, it's not a good situation. I mean, this should be replaced. So yeah, it's just totally deteriorated all the way around. Last thing you want is an air leak on a 2-stroke. You'll blow it up, right? All right, guys, fired up the ultrasonic. I know I'm gonna need it. These JIS fasteners on here are stripped because people use Phillips. So definitely you want to use these Vessel screwdrivers. They're different than Phillips. So these screws are a little strip, but man, I smell the funk. I can smell that varnish. It's nasty. That's why I'm wearing these gloves, because I just absolutely hate that smell. Ugh. Gross. Probably should have drained the car prior, right? Oh man. Ugh. Yeah, that is disgusting, dude. Alright, so we'll see what the ultrasonic can do with this. might need to get a little crazier with the chem dip. Oh man. Gonna need some vapor blasting, some ultrasonic, all the above to get this guy clean. I mean, that main jet is just completely, yeah, look at that black, nasty stuff. Oh yeah. Alright guys, so the carb is all disassembled. Check this out. This is the cap at the bottom. Look at all that nasty varnish. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these varnished up parts in chem dip. Chem dip does an awesome job on varnish, and then I'll follow up with the ultrasonic. Okay, but this guy is completely stripped. I took the TPS out and everything. I'll probably vapor blast this to make it look nice. It's fully disassembled. You have to fully disassemble stuff in order to vapor blast, right? Now, I removed this jet block. I wanted to check the gasket here. So this guy fits down in here like so, and there's some Torx security screws. So I replaced this on my 01. This guy seems real supple, so I will reuse it for now because I don't know what the rest of the state of the bike is. So I just want to get this thing going. But in any case, you can find this gasket on eBay. But anyway, let me clean this all up, all right? All right, here are some of the parts that I vapor blasted. Here are the jets. And what I do is I use these hemostat pliers. I got a crappy set, and what I do is I pinch it and lock it, and then here's how I vapor blast it. I just hold it in there and blast it, and the slurry flows through. Absolutely does a great job cleaning it, so this thing looks brand new. Same thing with the main jet. You can see how nice and shiny that is. Remember what this bowl looked like before. So just like 2 minutes in the machine and it comes out looking brand new. Vapor blasted this bottom cap. This thing could probably go in there one more time. Anyway, here's the main body. Look at the brass, it just looks amazing. So this took a couple minutes as well, and then followed up by a good rinse, and in the ultrasonic, this thing is completely clean. This is one part I did not vapor blast because I'm going to try to reuse this gasket, and there are some really small passages in here and you can't take this stuff apart. So I just cleaned it really well with ultrasonic and carb clean. Man, look what this mouse did. Just totally chewed up this hose, and it's all over the place. So definitely gonna have to replace this. That would suck to spring a leak right here. But go ahead and ground your spark plug to the head. Okay, so we got a nice spark there. Okay, and if you didn't get a spark, start with a brand new spark plug. It can be fouled, it won't spark, and so forth. So anyway, we got spark. Okay, now we're gonna perform a compression test. This is my Actron compression gauge. Don't use a Harbor Freight gauge. I got a video on it. There's a design flaw. There is no Schrader valve at the end of the hose. You're gonna get a lower reading, and you're gonna think you're gonna need a rebuild. Okay, so I'll link that video in the upper right. The carburetor is off, so technically the throttle is wide open. Okay, so all I'm gonna have to do is kick. Okay. Well, that's not good. About 70 psi, and it's pretty easy to kick. Now, my KX250 after a fresh rebuild, 205 psi. Okay, so this is an issue, obviously. Let's do it again. Yeah, that's not good, man. It's not gonna run. Alright guys, so the low compression got me wondering. So what I did is I removed the reed block, or the reed, so you can actually get a really nice view of the piston here on this side. And with a flashlight, it looks it looks okay. There's a little bit of scuffing, but nothing too bad, right? And usually on the intake side, you don't get a whole lot. Now, go over to the exhaust side. I pulled the pipe, and what I was able to do is get a flashlight in here, and I looked up here, and I can see that the bottom ring is totally melted, and the top ring too, so it's trashed. So that's why it has barely any compression, okay? So this piston's smoked, man. All right, guys, so unfortunately, we can't make this thing run today, okay, like I hoped. At least the carb is clean, right? Okay, so the top end needs to come off, and we need to evaluate what's going on there. Obviously, new piston for sure. Does it need to be replated? I don't know. And then the question is, since we have that off, how's the bottom end? We'll be able to inspect the crank, right? But also, I took a look at the stripped drain plug that John told me about. I removed the drain plug, and only a couple ounces of oil came out. So that tells me that it's probably leaking pretty good, and over time, it'll all leak out. So I took the drain plug out, and then I'll show you a picture of what it looks like. And all the threads are missing, so they're completely blown out. So that's going to make for a tricky repair with the engine in the bike and the engine together. So I think this whole engine needs to come apart. It's 15 years old. Who knows how many owners and what kind of life it has had. No good top end, and that drain bolt is stripped. So either we need a replacement case, send it to a machine shop for a helicoil, and so forth. One more thing about that, it's on the flat surface, it's chipped, so it needs to be probably welded back up. So I don't know yet, but just looking at it, it looks like it's pretty far gone as far as the threads are concerned and whatnot. So that's going to be it for this video. In the next video, we'll just take the top end off, just one step at a time, and see how deep we get into this thing. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.